Welcome, Wild Bill's Breaks, brand new special edition of Top 10 Tuesdays. I'm going to be counting down random baseball card related sets. Doing a little countdown here. Um, been thinking about doing this one for a while. It is Top 10 Worst Junk Wax Sets. So Junk Wax 87 and 93. And just, you know, not necessarily the quality of the players in those particular sets, but just the overall designs themselves. Which ones I've personally ripped and thought were just, subpar to the point of mentioning. Growing up and as of recently, some of the old sets I've only recently opened. But we'll go ahead and get the ball rolling here. Didn't want to include this. I wanted to give it a shot, but I did not have some of the other sets that I had initially put on the list on hand. So these are only cards that I have ripped personally. So we're going to go with 1990 Donruss. Everybody's favorite. It's the Wayne's World quote. If you grew up in the suburbs, it basically came in the mail with samples of Tide. This set was so ubiquitous. I remember when I was first collecting, in my early teens, just seeing this everywhere, and you could, find boxes of it, buy them left and right for like $20. I think maybe it's gone up a little bit here. Here we see Maddox, pitching for the Cubs. The big thing I know a lot of people didn't like was the just the script at the top there. I honestly don't think it's bad as some of the other cards on this list. Like there is a huge continental divide between some of the other cards sets that I've put on here. Not too long ago, I did get the there is the NL All Star set, I believe it is, and there's an AL version as well. So you can see that Smoltz there is in blue, and I just blew your mind because maybe a lot of you have never even seen 90 Donruss in another shade there. I believe the rookies were like a light green. I had one at one point, but it was nobody of note. But yeah, here's two later teammates, Maddox and Smoltz, and their 90 Donruss glory. So number 10, 90 Donruss. Number 9, I know is going to be a hot take for some people, but I had to throw it in there because honestly, I just wasn't impressed with 1990 Upper Deck. You can see the logo there, but as far as the design goes, very minimalistic. We got Bo and Deion Sanders there, two of the best multi-sport athletes of all time, and it's just just the layout. You got the position in the top left corner. You got the Upper Deck logo, and then the team logo down there in the left corner. It's just like they're kind of doing a paint by numbers almost with this set. It's just not as interesting as, let's say, 89 Upper Deck here. I mean, this particular photo is like a multi exposure shot of Nolan Ryan there, but we just got a little bit more going on this edge here where it's like, okay, here's the infield dirt. Maybe this is going into foul territory. You got the position up there. The Upper Deck logo is present. As far as the back goes, we do get a nice photo on the back there, but that's in both scenarios. And the edge again goes to 89 Upper Deck because it's got a little bit more than just basic white. And a lot of people like minimal designs because they're clean, whatever. But I want a little bit more out of my cards when I'm buying them. And here's 91 Upper Deck. You see Griffey Jr. there. And they're, a slight improvement, kind of going back to how it was in 91, where you've got the green border there. You've got, some color there at the bottom rather than just mostly white. And then really not much of a difference on the back there. So, number 9, 1990 Upper Deck. Maybe a hot take for some of you folks. Let me know. Speaking of hot takes, 1992 Stadium Club. I know Stadium Club has its diehard fans there. I do love this photo of Tony Gwynn. I did mention it in their most recent video that I did pull Tony Gwenho's got the reflective sunglasses there, but as you can see with the other two photos there's a very uninterested looking Randy Johnson, but that's just, who he was. He's just not very interested. And then Mike Mussina. Um, but as far as design goes, just not much going on here. I mean, all we've got here is just the Stadium Club logo at the very bottom and then white text there. So, overemphasizing the photography, which is great. It's pretty great quality photography, but I think these cards were overshadowed by the backs, where we've got not only all our stats here, but we've got our debut for that particular player, their rookie card, just minimalized there. And I think that is probably the best part of this set and definitely overshadowed the front where nothing much is going on. So, number 8, 1992 Stadium Club. And we move on to number 7, which is 1989 Donruss, which came in 3 fun flavors here. So we've got, green, yellow, green, red, purple, and then orange, yellow there. Scoot these guys over just a tad. And as you can see, the color variation's kind of interesting. I like what they were trying to do there. But I just think that the 89 Donruss, and Donruss cards throughout this era, there's really no need to show you the back. They were all just pretty much the same, just different colors. Up until 92 rolled around where they finally started doing something different on the back. But I think 89 Donruss is just overshadowed by its older brother, 88 Donruss here. As you can see the bow there. I love the blue, the red, the black, all kind of having a gradient fade into one another. Certainly a more iconic card set. But as far as junk wax goes, you can still find, probably both of these 88 Donruss, especially for like $20 a box. So definitely won't hurt you for a rip. But as far as 89 Donruss goes, there's just better sets out there, and not my favorite. So we're going to number 6. We're staying in 1989, and we're going to go to 89 Score. There was a little bit more variation here. I've got Bonds and McGwire. As you can see, color swaps here at the bottom and at the top of the Score logo. I'm not sure how many different varieties there were. Probably around 5 or 6. I couldn't find a whole lot of examples. But just what we're seeing. At any rate, I didn't think 89 Score was as good as 88 here. You at least got several color variations there. It's like blue, orange, purple, green, red. I think the biggest complaint there was that the colors didn't match the team. In this case, the bows, it looked great, blue and blue, but some of them didn't. People didn't like it. I don't know. I always thought 89 Score was the weaker of the 2 entries. But that brings us to our next victim, which would be 1991 Score, which I think actually had more color variations. It wasn't just black. I think there was some blue, maybe some red or something like that. But just nothing fancy here. I mean, another cookie cutter release. You can see just the Score logo, not even the team logo there. This time around, we do have the player position. It's not a whole lot going on. I feel that 90 Score here, again, doing their famous color variation on the base card, had a little bit more going on with the logo there, and in some cases had the rookie splash above the logo. And then we're going to 92 there, which I know is not a favor of many others. A lot of complaints about this big border right here, but I think visually it's probably the best of the 3 here. But 91 Score, definitely the odd man out of the 3 sets. And that brings us to another one that just is just, well, they're all pretty bland, but 91 Fleer, just so much yellow. It's hard to see why anyone thought this was a good idea. Yellow's all in the all the rage this season, boys. And just no variation from there. I mean, if they could have done something more like this with the Pro Visions, I'll put them side by side. The artistry, which I thought was actually in a lot of ways better than some of the Diamond Kings. We're getting more than just like a player profile typically. An exaggerated look into the players. Kirby's got some weird bat thing going on there, it's like a stick of dynamite. Will Clark's bat is breaking from his, serious power. That bionic bow. I never did complete the set. As if you get a box of 91 Fleer now, if you go chasing these, there's only like 4 per box that are that rare. And I've opened like, I don't know, 6 maybe more Fleer boxes lifetime, and I've still not been able to put this set together. I'm still missing like 2. I could just flat out buy them, but I'm like Anyway, had they gone with Provision aesthetic, or just like some variation between just the yellow throughout, I think it would have done them a lot of good. As you can see, you've got the player photo on the back, so that's a little bit of an improvement. From just being completely blank. You can see previous year 90 Fleer, it's not great, but it's still better. You've definitely got more color. It's not just, yellow all up in your face throughout the entire set. And now we're getting into the top 3. Try to find some more examples of this, but I only have a handful. And that would be 89 Bowman, which is just the quality of these cards just looks so drab compared to everything else that's going on there. I wanted to rank this higher. I'm going to go ahead and double this one up and do 90 Bowman at the same time, just to see, so you can see what's going on here. For those of you who didn't know already, you've got the cards sticking out about, what is that, maybe a quarter of an inch more than regular card set. They learned their lesson from 89 and they at least shrinked it down. But then the change from 89 to 90 was pretty minuscule and in the wrong direction. At least 89 had this facsimile autograph on each card. You see Tony Gwynn, you see Nolan Ryan there. At least they had that. They just removed it, put a little like spectrum around as the border, and then just a very, very small, almost unnoticeable, name at the bottom. The back, I don't think they're too different. Well, they are, but pretty much the same thing going on. Lots of stats. Even has breakdowns as like how they did per team. That previous year's stats, which is pretty interesting. For a card to do anymore. You don't see anything that's too stat heavy. It's just mostly last year's stats and then some more photos on the back. But 89 Donruss at number 3 and 90 Donruss at number 2. Just not visually interesting. At least with 90 Donruss, it's a little brighter, maybe, but I don't know. You just don't have as much visually going on there, unfortunately. And so there was 90 Bowman and 89 Bowman coming in at numbers 2 and 3, which leaves us at 93 Fleer, which up until I ripped that box recently, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was the first kind of glossy set. It was, you had 92 Fleer, which, put Griffey there on either side of Glavine. Which I mean, you can see it's better. We got the logo, the name right there. I love the subtle gradient until you get about 2/3 down the card, and then it's white at the bottom. Um, Backs, I don't know they're much. I like the back of the '93 Fleer, but you look at the front. '92 Fleer. It's not the greatest set design by any means, but I like it quite a bit. And then you jump to '93 Fleer, and it's just like we'll just have this bar of color on the left and a gray border, and that's it. It's like what were they doing? They just really did not put any effort into making a set that year. And then the next year, they at least kind of redeemed themselves. We've got the logo up here in the top left corner, the gold foil curving around the logo for the player name is really nice. The back of the card, definitely, um, I'd, I don't know that there's like much of an improvement on the back of the card. It's just, full size card with, actual photo visible and the color overlays there. But I think, the back was okay on '93 Fleer, but the front is just, give us something to, you know, want to collect here. So this is my first top 10 video. I'm thinking about doing the inverse of this, doing the top 10 best wax sets. So 87 and 93, and only sets that I've ripped. So you might not see some that you thought should be on there, simply maybe because I don't have the cards. I mean, I don't want to just hold up a computer screen and it's like, oh, here, look at this. But we'll see what we can do with the best of. I'll try and do that next Tuesday. But thanks for stopping by on this new edition of Wild Bill's Breaks. And hopefully you enjoyed the Wednesday video there of the 87 Donruss and the Saturday video as well. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night.